here let me import pandas as PD. And after that, let me import numpy as np. Okay. And here, let me read the file using the pandas. In pandas, let's say pd dot. Here we have an option to read CSV file. If you see here, this is to read a CSV file. So we can read CSV file here, and here we can use the file to read it. There is some more options that we need to provide. Data underscore CSV dot CSV. One second. With the file, let me see view details. Data underscore CSV. So what is the error we are getting? That we need to troubleshoot with the error actually. So here, file not found error. So that means file is not, it is not referring the file actually. So there is an CSV. This is common only. Let me copy and paste the file name exactly. Data underscore CSV. I think there is some escape character is coming. So we need to remove that escape characters, and we have to figure how we can read the CSV file. Let me check. Just give me a minute. thing is, it is taking as a raw string. It should take it as a raw string actually. So this is not taking as a raw string, but yeah, let me is the syntax. So it is telling file not found error, but file is there. The location is reference EI. So the file is there. So I gave it as a raw, but still it is not working. So let me so it is telling file not accept, file not found, but we can try to check whether the file is there really there or not. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the use the OS and do the list of dir. So let me do that one. Remove this and let me put OS dot list dir of r c colon slash. Let me give the absolute path here. Slash there. 260 like this. Okay, so this is the issue where it is not giving us the set path here. Yeah. So here there's an issue with the path. There's some issue with the path. Let me do one thing. Let me put the file outside of this. And let me bring that file outside. Now let me check. So here what I'm giving C colon AI. List. Okay. And this is also not. Yeah, faced this issue before also, but yeah, let me try one more other way instead of doing this way. I'll try another way. Okay, so I took the shared drive path. So from the shared drive path, I'm trying to take that. So let me, I have some other data as well here. So copy the path. What this is the one what I did is I took from the Google Drive. So I used Google Drive. Using Google Drive, I'm able to get the file, and it is recognizing that path. So there is ways actually here. If you see at the right, at the left side, we had here the drive will be there. Here, if you see, mount the drive. So if you want to connect to the Google Drive, where you will upload your CSV file to the Google Drive, and from Google Drive you can take the path and you can mount that one here, and you can use that one. And you have another options also here where you can upload the file here. So let me check. Let me get the file to the reference. Yeah, data.csv. So just ensure that your file was saved. Okay, file will be deleted when this runtime is terminated. Okay, so the thing is, we need to update the file here into the drive. So here you can see data.csv file. So you can take this path, copy the path, and if you put the path here, it will, let's see. So here if you see here, we have our data. This is the data. So the thing is, yeah, either way we can do. Either we can use the last. Usually I used to use the Google Colab in my local. So if it is in the local, it will automatically take the file from the local and it will use that one. So I'm using the online one, so that is the reason it is unable to find the file. So it is giving an error like file not found exception. So what we need to do, we need to upload the file to the Google Colab. From there, we can fetch the data. Okay. So this is the one which we need to remember. We need to recall that one. Usually, I used to use the local one. That's the reason I was unable to get the file. But now we are able to get the file. So yeah, this is a good thing. And let me tell you some few more things about the data frames. Okay. So data frames. So this is a df dot. You can see the data frames. This is the data frames actually. You can see this is the data frames. So df dot first let us see the shape. So first we have read the file. We have read the file by using the pandas. This is a pandas. PD is a pandas. So using pandas we have read the file. So now what we need to do is we need to send this data to one variable, to the data frame variable. Okay, df is a common name for the data frames where we can use that as a df variable. Okay. So df is equal to dpd dot read underscore csv, read the file. We are reading the file. Okay, let us execute. So now if you give df, what it will do? It will give all the data here. So whatever data pandas has read from that file is given to the df. Now df is giving the columns and rows here. So on these rows, what we can do, we can apply few. Let's say if you want to filter only the columns alone, then what we can do, we can use df columns. Okay, only columns I want. So I give df columns. See, it gave me the columns. What all columns it is having? There's names it is giving here. You go and see here. We have ID, name, age, department, and salary. Okay, these 5 columns are there. So we can see only those columns. And we want to see the index. So let us see the index as well. So for that, what we can use? We can use df dot index. Okay. So it is telling index starts with 0 and ends with 200. Index starts with 0 and ends with 200. Okay. So now let's say I don't want to see all the records because here it is unable to display all the 200 records here. I want to see only, let's say, 5 records only. First 5 records I want to see. So how I can see? Using data frames. df dot head. Head means what? We need to give the range, right? If simply let me execute this one. So by default it is giving 5 records. By default it is giving, if you give df dot head, it by default is giving 5 records. But I want 20 records. So I'll give df head of 20. Okay. So if you see, we will get 20 records. Here it is showing 19 because index will start with 0. Okay. First 20 records it is giving for us. The same way, if you want to see the last records, here we are seeing from the top 20 records. But the thing is, I want to see from the last records. So if I give df type, and if I execute without giving any value here, what it will do? It will give you the last 5 records. These are the last 5 records. Last 5 records is given. Let's say I want to read last 20 records. So what I will do is df dot type 20. So let's see, from 180 to 199 it is showing. Okay. So like this, what it will do, we can use the data frames and we can see the data in the CSV file. For AI, majorly they need data. So the data where it will have, either it can be CSV format or JSON format. or any other text format, whatever format it is, you need to read that one. It should have a capability to read that one. That's the reason we are using the data frames here. So here there is a function in a data frames. The data frame that is sample. So sample, what it will do is it will randomly pick some value. It will randomly pick some values. Let's say I'm giving sample of 8, specific sample of 8. See, it is taking some sample of 8 values. It is taking some random values. It's not in an order. It is taking some random values. It is taking 127, 162, 125, 33, 28, 191, 6, 169. So like this, what it is doing, it is taking some random values. Okay. Like this, what we can do, either here I'm giving 8, but we can give 15 as well. Can give some 15 values also we can give. So it depends how many values we want. We can use those many number of values. I'm randomly putting some values as a NA values. NA means not applicable, something like that. I'm going to put, because how we can work on that values that I'm trying to tell you. NAN like that. Okay. So I'm randomly putting some values as NAN. Okay. NAN. I'm randomly putting some values as NAN. So let me update the file back again. So here. Okay. Okay. Just randomly kept some file as NA. So let us read that file back again with df. The df. DF. Okay, I think I need to get a file with NA. I'll ask AI to give me some sample. Please generate CSV file with NA and data, name data of 20 records. Okay. I'm just getting some new CSV file with NA and data, means not there, data won't be there. So how to handle that kind of files in AI? So that using DataFrames. So that file I'm going to get now. Let me get that file. Let me see. these zero values are NaN, I think. Let me upload and see this file. Let me upload. Let me take that file name. This time it will be quicker because we uploaded the file. The earlier we had some issue with the local path. So now what we do, pd dot read underscore CSV and or column. Okay, we need to take the path here. Go to the drive. Copy the path. Put the path. Okay, you see there are NaN data. This is NaN data. So how we can handle this NaN data? That we need to know. How we can handle this NaN, because those, let's say in a column we had ID, we had name, we had age, and we had salary, but we don't have department. So when AI is trying to analyze the data, if there is no data on that particular columns, so how it need to handle, how we need to eliminate that data, or how it can append the data to the NaN. So that we need to know. So let us put this one as df. df is equal to this data. Okay, df is equal to this data now. So now let us see. First thing is we want to know whether there is any NA data in that particular file. In that particular file, is there any NA data or not? So for that, what the function we use? We use a function called df dot isNA. df dot isNA is a function which is used to identify whether there is any NA data. df dot isNA is used to identify is there any NA data. Is there any NA data? Okay. So this is a function df dot isNA. And again, here we will use df dot is null dot sum. Is null dot sum. Is NA. So is NA. df dot is NA. Is NA. So if df dot is NA, this is the one what we have. So here we have few data. There is another function. Let me confirm that function. df is NA dot sum. Let me take it in the another tab here. Dot df dot NA dot sum. Okay, so here it is giving how many NAs are there. So here the earlier what we did is we have not given the braces here. That's the reason it's not showing us. So here it is giving the count. how many places we had NA, not applicable data. It is telling. For example, we can take a name and check manually. Let us check manually how many places we had NA data. So for that, let me give DF. Let me give DF. So in name it is telling 2. So here if you see 7 at the row number 7 and at the row number 11 we can see the NA data. So only 2 places we can see the NA data here. So rest are all data is there. So that means DF dot is NA dot sum is the values what we had here. Name is 2, age is 3, and department 5, salary is 4. Okay. So like this, what we can do, we can check the NA data is available or not. Next, so to fill NA data. So now we identified how many NA data is there and how to find whether there is an NA data and how to count the NA data as well. We have counted the NA data as well. So now what we need to do is we need to fill that NA data because we don't want that data to be NA. We want to make it add some values to that NA. So or we want to remove that NA. So either way is fine. Either way we can do. So how we can do that one? How we can do that one? So here it's code. So here df dot fill NA df dot fill NA, and I want to keep the original df as it is, and I want to add some additional add it to the other variable, some other variable. So here I'm going to give df skill builder. Okay. So here the data which is present in the data frame which is having NA data, I want to put that data with some additional value. Let's say I want to put it as skill builder. Okay. So now what happens? Whatever data you had with NA, that data will be replaced with a word called skill builder. Okay, a word called skill builder. Let me do that. So if I give df now, I will give df. So you can see at the row number 7 and row number 11, and there are NAs. Now if I give skill builder, df skill builder, this is a df skill builder. If I give that one, I give this one. See, wherever we see the NAN, it is getting replaced with the skill builder. This is one way. Where we can replace the NAN with other names. Whatever names you want, you can replace that one. And now either way is fine. Either you want to make it as NA and NAN with some new values, or you can completely drop them. I mean, you can replace you can drop them as well. So let me show you that one as well. So df drop NA is a variable. I'm taking a variable. I'm giving df dot. Here we have a functions. In the df itself, we have a function where we can see here, where we can find a drop NA. Let's go to the D. Say drop NA. So we have an option here, drop NA. Okay, we can drop that particular values as well. Okay, here we are using the function, and you can run that one. And now, if you read this one, I mean, if you execute this, it will show you. See, Okay, so whatever places you see the NA, that columns, sorry, that rows was deleted completely. Columns will be there. Columns they cannot delete because columns is the index where it will have ID, name, age, department, and salary it will have. But the records which is having NA, those records are eliminated completely. You don't have any values over there. Okay, so that is one option. df dot drop NA is the one place. df dot drop NA. Here, if you want to append the data, df dot fill NA. df dot fill NA. You can fill the columns here. Okay. And how to see the count? df dot is NA dot sum. So you can see whatever values or whatever how much count of NA values are there in that particular data. So that you can see here. And we can fill that one as well. This is one way. And now so here what happens, we have two ways. Either we can drop the values or we can remove completely. So or we can insert some new values to that NaN. What I want to do is I don't want to fill all the columns when we are filling the data. Here what happened, here I used a skill builder, and using skill builder I filled all the data which is having NaN with the skill builder. But now what I want to do is I want to insert that particular column NA with some value, particular column with some value. So that data only will get inserted. Rest all will be as an NaN. Rest all will be as an NaN. So how we can do that? So for that we will use df. In that df we will use yeah, before that we'll take some column. Here we have some column here. Name. In the name we have NaNs. At the column, at the row number 8 we had NaN. In the original df. Let me run this one. If you see here, yeah, at the 8, ID 8 we had NaN. Okay, so I want only the name column NaNs to get replaced, not all. We have, let's say in the department also we had NaN. In the name also we had NaN. In the age also we had NaN. So, but I want to replace the data only in the name column NaN. Okay, how to do that? So here we can use, I'm getting df. I don't want to modify the original df. So what I'm doing is I'm just showing. I'm not putting it into any variable. So df name dot fill NA with I want to fill with skill builder, for example. Okay, fill with skill builder. Okay, let us run this. See, only this columns alone got filled with skill builder. This is having originally, this is have NaN. Originally this have NaN. If you see here, this have NaN, and this is having NaN. 11. 7 and 11 having NaN, which I replace with skill builder. Okay, so this is one of the beautiful features with the DataFrames. What you can replace the particular column also. Okay, and there is one, if it's a numerical, right? If it's a numerical, let's say age is a numerical. So here in the age, I mean, here this is a string content. It's a user4, user5 means that's names will be there. So what I am doing, I am replacing the NANs with some string only I am replacing. Let's say if you have a column with a numerical value, why we are doing all these things is data. This is a data. AI works on the data, so that you need to put some values into that place where there is no data. Let's say NaN is no data there. There's no data is there. So we need to put some values there. There are some dummy values to do our manipulations or calculations for that particular data. So what I will do is I will apply NA on age. I'll apply NA on age. So in the age, I'll put some value as 40. I'll put some value as 40. Age is capital letter. And age, it's not string, it's a value. Okay, so now you see it got 40 updated on the age column. And let me assign this data. Send this data to df. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you why I'm keeping it as m, df m. Okay, that data is there. So now what I want to do is I want to do a mean. Mean means that overall average calculations we can do with that number, with that numerical values. So there is a function here in the data frames. There is a function. So df m dot mean. M dot mean. Okay, see, so average value is 38.85. Is the average age of this particular guys who are available here. The average, or we can say even salary also. The salary also we can take. The either way is fine. Just but I'm taking average age means above 30. They will be most of the people are in the mid range of 38 or like that. You can take generally we can take salary also. Okay, so anything is fine. Just it's a numerical value. You are taking a mean there. Okay, so like this we can calculate the mean of the data. Okay, this is one way. Okay, so yeah, we'll stop here, guys. We'll continue in the next session in tomorrow, so we can get more details about the data frames. In detail, I will explain about the data frames. Okay, thank you.